America woke up today to a development that almost no one saw coming. And within hours, it became the most talked about subject across television screens, smartphones, workplaces, and dinner tables. From major cities to small towns, people paused, refreshed their feeds, and tried to make sense of what had just unfolded. The sense of surprise was not limited to one political group, one region, or one demographic. It cut across the country in a way that few stories do anymore, reminding everyone just how quickly the national mood can shift when the unexpected happens. What made today's situation especially striking was not just the event itself, but the speed at which it spread and the intensity of the reaction it triggered. Social media platforms lit up almost instantly, with videos, screenshots, and commentary circulating faster than official statements could keep up. Newsrooms scrambled to confirm details, while analysts rushed to interpret what this could mean for the country in the days and weeks ahead. For many Americans, the feeling was a mix of shock, confusion, concern, and curiosity, all blending together into a single question repeated everywhere. How did this happen, and what comes next? In recent years, Americans have grown accustomed to dramatic headlines and constant updates, yet today felt different. There was a noticeable pause, a collective intake of breath, as if the country briefly stepped out of its routine to pay attention. People who usually avoid the news found themselves checking updates. Those who follow politics, economics, or national security closely admitted that even they were caught off guard. The unexpected nature of the situation challenged assumptions and forced many to rethink what they believed was stable or predictable. One reason this moment hit so hard is because it touched on issues that directly affect everyday life. Whether it involved decisions made behind closed doors, sudden changes in policy, or developments unfolding in real time, Americans immediately sensed that this was not just another headline that would fade by tomorrow. Conversations shifted quickly from "Did you hear about this?" to "How will this affect us?" That transition from curiosity to concern is often what turns a big story into a truly viral one. Across the country, reactions varied but shared a common tone of disbelief. Some expressed anger, others fear, and many simply tried to process the information as it evolved. In workplaces, productivity dipped as employees gathered around screens or exchanged messages. In schools and universities, discussions spilled into classrooms and group chats. Even in places where news usually plays softly in the background, today it demanded attention. The sense that something significant had just occurred was impossible to ignore. Experts were quick to point out that moments like this rarely come out of nowhere. In hindsight, there are often warning signs, subtle signals, or ongoing tensions that only become obvious after the fact. Still, acknowledging that does little to reduce the shock when the moment actually arrives. For the average American, the experience is less about analyzing long-term trends and more about grappling with the immediate reality and uncertainty that suddenly feels very personal. As the day progressed, more information began to emerge, but clarity did not come easily. Conflicting reports, partial confirmations, and rapidly changing narratives added to the confusion. This uncertainty fueled even more speculation online, where opinions spread as fast as facts. Some voices urged calm and patience, reminding people that early reports are often incomplete. Others warned that the implications could be far-reaching, urging Americans to pay close attention and prepare for potential consequences. What stood out was how deeply engaged the public became. This was not passive consumption of news. People actively debated, questioned, and challenged what they were hearing. Trust in institutions, leadership, and media once again became part of the conversation. For some, today reinforced existing doubts. For others, it sparked new ones. In a country already divided on many issues, this unexpected development added another layer of complexity to the national dialogue. There was also a strong emotional component to the reaction. Beyond political or strategic implications, many Americans felt a sense of vulnerability. The idea that something so unforeseen could happen reminded people that certainty is often an illusion. Whether the issue related to governance, security, the economy, or international relations, the underlying emotion was the same, a realization that the ground beneath familiar assumptions can shift quickly. Throughout the afternoon and evening, official responses began to take shape. Statements were released, press conferences scheduled, and reassurances offered. Yet even these efforts struggled to fully calm the public mood. Reassurance is most effective when trust is strong, and today's reactions revealed just how fragile that trust can be. Many Americans welcomed the explanations, while others remained skeptical, searching for what they believed to be the full story behind the headlines. Media coverage played a powerful role in shaping how the situation was perceived. Images, language, and tone all influenced whether viewers felt alarmed or cautiously optimistic. The phrase "breaking news" took on renewed weight, not as a marketing tool, but as an accurate description of a moment that genuinely disrupted the normal flow of events. For many viewers, it felt like watching history unfolding in real time, even if the final significance is still being debated. As night approached, the conversation did not slow down. If anything, it intensified. Prime-time broadcasts, live streams, and late-night discussions ensured that the story remained front and center. Families talked about it at dinner tables, friends debated it in messages, and commentators dissected every new detail. The sense that this was a turning point, or at least a warning sign, lingered in the air. What happens next remains uncertain, and that uncertainty is perhaps the most unsettling aspect of all. Americans are accustomed to narratives with clear beginnings and endings, but today's development feels like the opening chapter of a story still being written. Whether it leads to major change, gradual adjustment, or something in between, the impact of this moment will likely be felt long after the initial shock fades. In moments like this, the nation often reveals both its strengths and its weaknesses. The rapid spread of information allows people to stay informed, but it also amplifies fear and misinformation. The diversity of voices enriches the conversation, yet it can also deepen divisions. How America navigates the aftermath of today's surprise will say a great deal about where the country stands and where it may be heading. For now, what is clear is that today will be remembered as one of those days when routine was interrupted and assumptions were challenged. The phrase "no one expected this" has echoed across platforms and conversations for a reason. It captures not just the shock of the event itself, but the broader realization that certainty is fragile and vigilance matters. As Americans go to sleep tonight, many will do so with unanswered questions still on their minds. Tomorrow may bring clarity, or it may bring more surprises. Either way, today has already secured its place in the ongoing story of a nation constantly navigating change, uncertainty, and the search for stability in an unpredictable world.